Hello everyone! Welcome back inside the toy room. I'm John, and today we got something really cool to look at. The HyperReal Star Wars The Black Series Luke Skywalker Disney Hasbro, ages 14 and up. This is for adult collectors. We're taking a look at the box first here. The packaging is very much like the HyperReal Darth Vader that came out. And we will put Luke with Vader. Highly posable, HyperReal, seamless joints. He's got a metal skeleton that allows him to be posed and moved in different positions. Here he is in the window. Side of the box has a window here. Pretty cool. Highly detailed character likeness. HyperReal. Metallic endoskeleton. In character inspired accessories. Disney Hasbro again. All the warning label stuff. Poses require some support. They do give you pegs on the display that are movable, so you can change them around. And the displays do connect together. We'll show you that. Here's the barcode in case any of you guys want it. And we'll start to get this thing open here. So first off, I wanted to show, when you do want to, you can open this up. And it has like a window box kind of feel. You know, you got the Luke with his display piece, some suggested positions, and you have all his accessories over there. Luke Skywalker. I'd like to say, if this is your first time here on the channel, please hit that subscribe button. I get all kinds of really cool stuff in to my toy room, both vintage and modern. I collect things from the 60s, 70s, 80s, all the way up to what came out yesterday. It's pretty cool. So yeah, you get like 10 different hands, his lightsaber, his gun, nice belt. Looks like the blade's detachable, and you get an extra head. We'll take a look at the difference of those heads here in a minute. So when you get them out of the packaging, you've got this little warning label sheet, and you've got this, it's kind of like a care sheet, care and instructions, because on the back it tells you that you really want to be careful when you pose this guy, and if you want to clean him up, use a brush there, you know, so... I think they're trying to say don't douse them in water, because maybe the metal skeleton inside will warp or something. I don't know. But in the bubble, he's got two sections here, so the display piece comes out in one piece here. And like I said, it's got 3 little pegs hidden on the bottom for storage, and a clip, which you can use to connect both the Darth Vader and the Luke display stands if you want to connect them. And these pegs go in any hole, like so, and they go in the bottom of the figure's foot. So you can move them around to any holes that you require to get them in some really good poses if you want to. And then Luke... we'll get him out of here. It looks like he's all tied in, and the lightsaber's inside a baggie of its own. So we'll just do that off camera. There we go. So here's the Luke as he comes out. Pretty neat, pretty detailed. Now the one thing that struck me was this is a rubber outfit. It is not cloth. That really hit me hard. I did not expect it to be totally made out of rubber. the two different heads. We'll put them side by side. To me, it looks like a slightly different mouth expression. And it's just got messed up hair versus tidy hair. You know, tidy hair versus messed up hair. So like the beginning of the fight versus the end of the fight, I guess you could say. If you want to do this as a Bespin duel with Vader. The extra hands, we got a couple extra gripping hands for his, holding the lightsaber and stuff. We got a force hand, and we have what I'm going to call a claw hand. Making a claw fist, And then we have two kind of open, just ready hands, like they're just standing there ready. And two slightly different standing at ready hands. Those are so close, it's hard to even tell. And then we have fists, in case you want to go punching stuff. I also want to mention, if you guys want to get some early access to videos and some exclusive videos, you can join the Patreon community. I'll have links in the description below. The lightsaber is pretty cool. It's really detailed. Lots of detail here. Mine's a little bit bent. I'm going to have to do the hot water technique on it, get it straightened out. Ugh. Why is it bent? I hate it when weapons and accessories come bent. But the detail work on here is really nice. I like the yellow. It really pops. It really stands out. The red dot, the works inside here around this lightsaber, where the blade attaches, it's all really authentic and detailed. Looks a lot like the real thing, The lightsaber has a peg on it. It fits right in really snug into the hilt, so the blade pops in really nice. Mine's a little bit wonky because of the bend in the blade, but boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I've got some story time videos. I've got 3 or 4 exclusive videos up on Patreon, including a room tour that's an hour and 20 minutes long that shows you everything in my collection. We'll get the gun out here. Oh man, my gun is bent. I bent my Wookiee. It's just totally bent. Why? But otherwise, the gun looks really good. It fits in the holster and comes out of the holster really nice. The belt and the holster on this guy is superb. It's absolutely brilliant. The gun, the weapon, the design, the paint, everything on this is really cool. From the front, it looks accurate. Looks accurate from all sides, really, We'll check out his articulation here. We got movement up with the head, movement down, but it seems to spring back into this neutral position a lot. The head does turn left and right. It goes all the way around, really. Rocks back and forth a little bit, left to right. The arm, it moves up, and it moves, you can move it forward and backwards. I wouldn't twist it all the way around because of the way the rubber outfit is attached to the metal endoskeleton. I think if you just went 360 and went wild with it, it would just break all the rubber and everything. The elbow bend's fine. You got a twist there. You got lots of movement in the hand, wrist area. So anything you want to do with the wrist, you can do. It's really... These arms are really posable from the elbows down. It's just that shoulder joint that's a little unforgiving. The body pivots, goes forward and back, turns around at the waist. The shirt is actually a separate piece from the pants, so that is very nice. The legs can go up and down, and it goes out a little bit. I wouldn't spread them too far because you're going to tear the rubber down here. His rubber pants, yeah. And the knee bends, we got ankle twist. Yeah, knee bending. The knee bends really well. Again, the lower parts of these extremities are fantastic. The ankles move perfect. You got lots of rock in the ankle. You got this little rock back and forth in the ankle. So again, the elbows down to the hands and the knees down to the feet are where you got all your movement and stuff in this character. You know, where the thighs make the hip, you're not going to move as much, and where the shoulders come into the torso, you're not going to move that much. We'll put the lightsaber, you can clip it on the belt here, which is pretty cool. It looks good hanging from the belt. I mean, it looks authentic, it looks real. I mean, really nice. Yeah, I like that a lot. Like if you were just going to have them standing in a ready position, it looks really good that way. I'm going to scan down from the front here. Give you a real good look at all the detail work on this guy. Even though the clothing is not cloth, it's made out of rubber. It does lay well. It looks good. You know, the photographs on this guy tricked me. I thought it was going to be cloth. Everything in the photos make it, to me, look like it's going to be cloth. Even the photos on the box make it look like it's going to be cloth. But then you get them and it's rubber. So, but it still has the detail and all the wrinkles and what you want from the figure to make it look like it's you know, standing right up there next to Darth Vader. Now I realize now, you know, Darth Vader did have a rubber outfit on, but for him I felt like it kind of made sense because, you know, Darth Vader's outfit that's under the armor kind of lends itself to being rubber as a figure. So that kind of made sense, but this I feel should have been cloth. You got like straight hair versus messed up hair. I put the messed up hair on just to give it a quick 360 and see how it looks both ways with different heads. You know what I mean? With both heads, I mean. So you can kind of see messed up hair. And then we'll switch over to the regular hair. I guess the more combed hair, I guess, in a sense, feathered hair. Yes, back in the 70s, they feathered hair. I don't think people do that these days, right? I can't really tell which one I like better. Messed up hair or feathered combed hair. They're both equally good. They're done equally well. So, I mean, in the beginning of this, I was leaning towards using the feathered hair, but by the end of making this video, I was leaning more towards using the messed up hair. So, it doesn't really matter, I guess. You know, it's just a slight preference. I guess it depends on the scene you're going to depict, you know, when you put them together with Darth Vader. Yeah, just giving you a good look at the back of the character with the belt and the gun holster. Here's how his hands attach. Just to give you an idea, you can see the metal skeleton and that little ball joint peg. So the hands come off and come back on real easy. Simple to use. Here's like a force gesture. You know, you got Luke with his gesturing with the force. Kind of just did that for another hand. And then he's got the gun. You can put the hand that... There's a specific hand to use with the gun so that the finger goes in the trigger. So that's what we're doing here. And trying to give you a 360 with that hand in there. Luke, it's a trap. It's a trap. He's like looking around the corner. Gestures to R2. Stay there, stay there. Then he moves forward and the door closes, leaving R2 behind him. And Boba Fett shoots, so he just pulls out his gun. Pew, 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 pew. Shooting back at Boba Fett. You can see how the feet can really get into some kind of dynamic motion here. It's kind of rocked a little bit with the ankle, and the front leg is bent. So you can really bend them and move them into a good position for a good... You know, it looks realistic. It looks like a real firing position that he would be in if he were blasting someone with that blaster, you know? So that's one good thing about the HyperReal figures, is that they really can be put into good positions that look realistic, you know? There's no joints. It's seamless. You don't see any ball joints, any pin and rockers, nothing to give away that it's not a statue, you know? You would first think, oh, this has to be a statue because there's no joints visible, but then you realize it's got an armature underneath. I could imagine this and the Vader being really good with the armatures underneath their bodies for stop motion. Yeah, I really got to straighten that. Look at it, it's like bent. It goes up and then off to the right. I got to straighten that lightsaber hilt so that the blade doesn't come out bent. But yeah, I bet some, you know, guys who are really into stop motion could do some really good stuff with this Luke and that Vader, because the armatures underneath you can really move it just a tiny fraction and then take another picture and move it another tiny fraction, because it'll hold its position in any spot that you put it in. I mean, I bet it's really probably based on stop motion armatures and everything. He cut off Luke's hand. You could do that too. I put the claw hand on him and I'm like, no, I'll never join you. And Vader's like, Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. He told me enough. He told me you killed him. No, I am your father. That's not true. That's impossible. He can hold on to the lightsaber with two hands very, very well. I mean, look at this thing. Even the one finger goes a little bit over the bump of the ignition. Well, I guess the red thing, that's not really the ignition, is it? The yellow thing's the igniter. And then the other one, look at that. The yellow thing fits perfectly right in the crook of the hand. This is really... It really makes it look like he's gripping the lightsaber with two hands. I mean, there's no... It really does. It really looks like it. It's so cool. Now we got Vader's stand here and Luke's stand. You can put them together. And then I'll show you there's this little clip here you want to get out from the bottom of either stand. Both stands came with a clip. And what you want to do is you want to clip those things together right in the... It's right at that line where they meet up. Yeah, here. Dunk. And then just line that up over it and clip them together. There's a little divot on the bottom right where they line up on that line, and then both bases are permanently connected together using that clip. So then you can put Vader on his and Luke on his, and you can kind of have them when they first meet. Obi-Wan has taught you well. You've controlled your fear. You'll find him full of surprises. It's hard to get to me, I feel like it's hard to get it to look right when you have, like, a lot of times Vader fights with one hand, and then he switches the two hands when he needs to be really powerful. You know, it's kind of like, I think it was that they were trying to show the difference in the power here, with Luke using two hands to fight and Vader using one hand, meaning he's so much stronger than Luke, he doesn't need to use two hands. So I was trying to go with some of that, and a lot of times it just doesn't look like Vader's putting any power into it, you know, like it's hard to get them in the right pose. This one's not that bad, you know. But you want to make it look like the characters are struggling, like they're pushing off each other, and that's very hard to do with a static set of action figures, you know. So this worked okay. And then I was trying out some other ones here. I got moved him a little bit forward. Plus I wanted to move it back and see from a distance how it looks here. He does that noise. I don't know what it is. He needs like a nick or a dent in the armor on his shoulders when Luke nicked him during the fight, you know, and here's Luke holding, waiting for Vader to come down with that massive two-handed blow. This looks pretty cool. I think this is a good looking one. Maybe you have to do the poses before they hit, so it looks like they're moving, like they're going to hit any second now, you know? But when the lightsabers touch, it might not look as dynamic, you know? Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And then they come down. This one doesn't look bad either, because it really looks like he came down with both hands and hit it, and Luke's trying to hold him off. You need a little flash of light from when they clash together. But yeah, I think having where they first meet, where Luke ignites it, whoosh, and then Vader ignites his pointing towards Luke, to show power, to show force, to show an attack position where Luke's more like in a defensive position. Obi-Wan has taught you well. You controlled your anger, controlled your fear. Well, guys, we're getting near the end here. I want to say thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys like this HyperReal figure. I'd say like he's 90% there. The only negative that I have is that he doesn't have cloth clothing. He really should have had cloth clothing. They could have given him rubber boots. I don't care about that too much. But the shirt and pants should have been cloth. That is my only takeaway as a negative that I can come out with on this. I would like a little bit more movement in the shoulders, both with Vader and with Luke, actually. We could use more movement in the shoulders. But that's really about it. Otherwise, I'm happy to have this Luke. I'm excited. I'm ecstatic. I can't wait to get him up on the shelf, you know, permanently next to Vader, having him some kind of attack pose. I'll probably use one of the shots I did in here and just modify it a little bit to make it work for the shelf I got and where he's going to go. And yeah, this really good figure. You know, I think he's worth it. I think he's worth it. If you don't mind the rubber, you're going to find it's a figure that's worth it. If you really like stop motion animation, you're going to have a blast with these guys, with him and Vader. The armature underneath is just fantastic for that kind of work. I like the likeness of the faces. The multiple hands you get really help you put him in a lot of different positions. The belt, the gun, lightsaber, everything looks really cool. Like I said, the only thing I can come away with this as a negative is that rubber clothing. It should have been cloth. I really don't see why they couldn't have done it cloth. It would make a lot more sense if that was cloth. I almost want to see someone take this figure apart, take off the rubber, and put cloth on, and see what it looks like. Because I bet you there's some of you guys out there are gonna do that. You're gonna look at this and go, I love everything about this character, about this figure, except the fact that he doesn't have cloth clothing. So let's tear the rubber off and put cloth on. You know, because someone can make a little outfit that matches, you know. Heck, you might even be able to get one of those 10-inch figures we had with the cloth, and that outfit might just fit on this guy perfectly. Who knows? Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm John. I'm out of here. And we'll talk to you guys later. See ya.